Peace and blessings, family. I am Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I'm back with another tool for your toolkits. It is so good to be here with you. I thank you all to my audience from Facebook, the family, for your patience. As I would have it, I say I, because all things are a reflection of the self. The meetings that I had this morning reflected on the subject matter that I wanted to share with you all for a few days now. Um, but I wanted to be grounded in what I was sharing so that you would have a deeper understanding of what exactly you are doing with sound. So if you can hear me and see me clearly, please put some hearts in the chat so I can know to proceed. Blessings, Black Venusian. It's a pleasure to see you here. Thank you, thank you. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey. So, something that I am particularly passionate about and is used very heavily in my work, also in Bob's work, um, is the power of sound. And the title of this video is Resonance. I'm still working in the book of changes because I am assisting you and walking you through creating your map, your map quest of walking through these gates of self-discovery and hopefully finding yourself having the power, the fierceness, the courage necessary to be the hero of your reality. So as you tune in, blessings, thank you for listening. Please thumbs up this video to help get this message out to those who really need it, who need to be empowered, who need to feel encouraged, who need to feel supported on this journey and on this path. I really appreciate you helping out the algorithm family. So shouts out to the Occult College, the family, gang gang. Shouts out to my fairies. All right. I love y'all. They are helping me give birth to something brilliant. And we'll talk more about that later on. So get your notebooks together because this lecture is going to be on resonance so that we can have a deeper understanding about what resonance is, how it's applied in our lives, and why it is so important for us to become aware of it in all of its ways, scientifically, spiritually, um, as well. Okay? So I want to begin first with what is resonance? It's a word that we use often, right? Usually in the term or the response is either I resonate with something or I don't resonate with that. And there's a lot of depth there when it comes to the work that you're doing and the journey that you're on, especially in regards to what we deem intuition. But actually a little more grounded than intuition. And it leads us to understand ourselves as an instrument that is connected to the earth. All right. So, first and foremost, resonance is the result of one vibrating object coming into contact with another object, which has its own natural frequency. And at the point in which that vibration matches the natural frequency of that other object, there is an amplification of that frequency. And so I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to walk through those steps once again, because it's very important to understand how we have the product of resonance. Resonance is the product or the outcome of when one vibration, one vibration comes into contact with another vibration that is sitting in its natural frequency. Okay? In this natural frequency, this thing that is vibrating meets with the natural frequency of this object, And from that match, an amplification, an expansion, an increase occurs in that natural frequency. So this gives you more understanding of when you say something resonates with you, that means that when you come into contact with this particular space, this particular vibration, you experience from a real place, this is not woo-woo, from a physics, like a physical space, that your frequency, your natural frequency, experiences an amplification. You feel bigger, you feel wider, you feel more energized. Okay? So an for those of you who are musicians, an amp is a type of speaker that we plug an instrument into to take the natural acoustic sound of something and to make it louder, to reach further. Okay? So now let's get into the meat of this. The reason why, and I don't know if you're familiar with this product, this resonance, is considered a phenomena because it is only at the point in which this external vibration that meets with the other object that is vibrating at a natural frequency, it is only when there is a synergy, a match to that vibrational frequency, that there's an expansion. The phenomena here is that we get even more power out of the match than we do with a forced vibration. So I'll give you an example of this. And it's important for you to write that down. We get more power out of an external vibration matching the natural frequency of the object here than we do from force. Because the natural frequency is what occurs when an object is sitting and everything has its own vibration. Okay? Even in stillness, there is a vibration emanating from the being. So I'm sitting here. When I'm still in meditation and absolutely centered, I'm not pushing forward in any particular vibration or frequency. I am sitting in my natural frequency so long as I'm feeling very balanced and calm. What comes into my space that meets that natural frequency will expand it, versus if someone comes in really on a forceful energy, although that force has more kinetic energy, right? It obviously has more energy. It won't necessarily create more energy within me. It can actually do the opposite because it is not matching my natural frequency. Press 1 if you understand this. Okay, I'm going to give you another very plain sight example of what it means to have resonance. Okay, so some of you go to the playground, right? And one of my favorite places on the playground is the swing. When we go to the play on the swing, you will note, if you go back and review, right? And if not, I implore you, it's warm outside, go and try this out. So when a child is in the swing, in order for the swing to go really, really high, what we do is we find a rhythm with the natural swing. Okay? How many of us realize this? So I'm going to do it and you're going to notice, right? So the child is on a swing and we start off real slow, right? So we match. Once we put the child in the swing, there's already a little like movement there, correct? and we take the swing and we pull it towards us. And we don't really push it too hard. We let it go. Okay? Now, if the child has not mastered the whole like pulling the feet back and letting them go forward, we're going to be the external force or that second vibration that's introduced to the natural frequency. Now, what happens when we are the calm and I would say the kind of parent that wants to reinforce security in the child? So we're going to go with the flow of the swing. So now the swing comes back to us and we kind of push with the swing. Swing comes back, we push with the swing. All right. What happens when we get the person either in the front or the back? Either way, you can be behind the swing having the same energy, pushing with the swing, pushing with the swing. What happens when we get really playful and excited, right? And we decide, they go, I want to go higher, I want to go higher. Without thinking about it, one would think naturally, if I go push the swing really hard, I'm going to get that swing to really go high. When this law of resonance shows us the total opposite. Because what happens when we lose the harmony in how the swing is naturally going and we go and push it with forceful vibration? The string buckles and the distance of the swing actually gets shorter. Okay? So this is where we have introduction of forceful vibration meeting the natural frequency. It's a mismatch, and so it shortens the movement. Remember, the phenomena is if we go into it with the swing, that baby actually goes higher. And you know that you can experience it for yourself when we do the whole leg swing thing and why it works so well. So visually, press 1 in the chat if you see that. You're pushing with the swing, and gradually that swing picks up so much momentum that it's taking longer and longer for that baby to come back to your hands. Longer and longer. So long as you're introducing that vibration at a level where you are matching the swing. Matching the swing. But when you decide to force, you shorten the swing. And it comes back, and now it's losing energy even coming back because it's wiggling, it's swinging, it's lost that line of movement. When you yourself are sitting on the swing, okay, you know, the big kids, we learn, swing the legs out, and as you're coming down, right, pull them in. Swing your legs out, and as you're coming down, pull them in. And in order to slow down or shorten it, because you're like, I want to get off, right? What we do is we disrupt that harmonious movement and we pull the feet in a little earlier. Okay? So we purposely introduce a forceful action that is going to shorten the momentum of the energy moving back and forth. So this is all we have, that phenomenon where it's like, wait, so you mean if I use less force and more so focus on finding that sweet spot of harmony that I create more energy? That's how it works? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So this phenomena of resonance is important because you are introducing sound frequencies with a singing bowl, with tuning forks, with listening to frequencies of songs, of hymns. Everything has a particular frequency. And sometimes, like I said, we might think that we find more energy if we like go hard. So for those of you who are, I didn't think of this till now because I'm just receiving another way of giving you something to work with. When you have your tuning forks present, for example, and you hit it to activate it. Hitting it one time and letting it ring out. It is more powerful for you to introduce the sound to the energy field around you before bringing it into your skin, where it goes into the bones and starts to oscillate. Because naturally, in that vibration of gently introducing the vibration, the frequency that that tuning fork is made for will have the opportunity to find that Venus frequency, right? You're using a Venus tuning fork, that Venus frequency, what within you vibrates at the Venusian level, right? To match it, to expand it. That is why playing the sounds around you in the home and having the singing bowls there and having the tuning forks there and having a daily practice with it, that you're going to experience an expansion of that Venus frequency, because everything it meets around you, it is having a frequency, a vibrational conversation with. It is not that it's going to make everything vibrate at the Venusian frequency. What it's doing is it can communicate with that which is a vibrational match for in your space and expand it. But where it's meeting anything that is not of that frequency, there's not going to be a conversation. It's going to be short circuited. So you want to move energetically within the things that we know are Venusian. A Venusian energy is not forceful. A Venusian energy is softer. It's not softer in the sense that it just lays flat. It is more that it is so relaxed in its nature that it creates a pull. It creates an attraction, a magnetism. Okay? It doesn't electrify, it magnifies. So it pulls in, right? Like a magnet pulls to it what it desires, what it needs. And there's a lot of trust that's necessary there, because from that space, you have to know that although you're trained to go and get things, the go and get things is not a vibrational match for the frequency of Venus. So when you are touching things with your altar, when you are dressing, when you are adorning yourself, doing these things with the intention of becoming harmonious with that frequency is where you're going to experience the expansion. All right? Press diamond. Put some diamonds in the chat. Yeah, put some diamonds in the chat if that's really clear for you. All right? For the musicians who have worked with the stringed instruments, right? We have the lyre and we have the harp. Again, we're looking at an instrument that speaks to resonance very powerfully. No matter, and those of you who play these instruments, the guitar, okay, included, no matter how carefully you strum one string, if you listen closely, you're not just going to get the sound of one string. Because as one string vibrates, it is going to set off the other strings to vibrate as well. And what you're hearing is an expansion of that first string that you strum is going to make the natural frequency of the other strings magnify. Remember that most of the materials of each string, unless you have a few nylon and a few metal, right? They have the same natural material. So in essence, they have the same natural frequency as a foundation. How they are tuned, tightened, or loosened is what changes how they vibrate. However, when you strum one of the strings, the others are going to speak that foundational sound, that natural frequency together. That's why the sound of the one string, when you strum that one string, it's not that you get all the other keys. You get like an echoing. You get a strengthened sound of that particular string, because all the other strings that live with it have a part of them that speak the same language, so to say. So let's say this string in the middle is yes. As I strum yes, all of the yes that exist in all the other strings are going to echo the yes, which strengthens the yes out of it. All right, does that make sense? Okay. So even physically, if that string, technically physically, because we don't see the string go and touch the other strings, but the vibration absolutely touches the other strings. All right. This is the foundation of resonance that I want to share with you, because sometimes we get caught up in, well, that doesn't resonate with me, and don't really understand why or how to really put it in the right context. It's not necessarily that when another vibration comes into your space that it's bad. What happens when something does not resonate with you? From self introspection, self reflection, we want to know, one, if this energy coming into my space is of some particular vibration that I desire to be in, and I feel uncomfortable in it, it does not resonate with me. Is it a matter of me needing to do more work on my natural frequency and where I reside? Or is it detrimental to where I am? And the reason why I put it that way, of course, is because I want us to be refining ourselves to be of the highest quality and the highest frequency, experiencing our highest potential in life, in this real life on earth, this lifetime. And it's easier to deflect and say that that particular outside energy is somehow short circuiting our growth, when it can be a signal for the need for you to grow in some very hidden places. What happens for someone who has said they're doing this work and they're wanting to experience more abundance, more financial freedom, more flexibility in their ability to travel, purchase properties, see great benefits in their investments? And they meet someone who already has manifested that as a consistent vibration for themselves. They walk in it, they breathe it, they talk it. It's very easy for them to talk about the tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars that they invest in this. And, they went to Dubai and they were able to drive this car and they're able to do this and eat that. And while that individual may be working towards that level of abundance, in the presence of this individual, they feel awkward. They might even experience the judgments that, oh, this person is so full of themselves, all they talk about is this material things or whatever, right? Even subconsciously. But it may be a signal that that level of natural frequency, because you see individuals in that space where it is nothing to foot the bill of a large ticket item. It is nothing to book a flight to stay at a very beautiful hotel. It's more natural for them. Their natural frequency is to live in that vibration. If one has not cultivated that peace for themselves as yet, then they would want to be mindful that it only feels forceful for now to tune in and continue to cultivate that space, programming the mind, programming the body to live more in that. And an example of programming the mind and the body to live in that would be to go purposely into these spaces where there's not an actual force coming at you, like through a person, but that you put yourself in an environment that has been attuned to it. So when we think of wealthy environments, you go to the richest area of your city and you sit in those places and notice that the artwork on the walls, the quality of the food, the way that people are dressed is a vibrational match to that in which you are learning to resonate with. So that when you come into contact again with people in that close space that resonate naturally at that frequency of abundance, now instead of feeling slightly embarrassed or threatened or judgmental, you can experience expanded creativity and engage more in that exchange with more freedom, with more excitement. Okay? Now with resonance, because I'm going to move further into this energy of ebb, which is an actual energy, which I found interesting because we also use the term ebbs and flows. So when I pulled this energy as a guide, and I saw the word ebb, I thought of ebb and flow. But what's necessary on this journey, the resonance that you're getting to for that first level, that first stage, there has to be a clearing out. Your natural frequency is like you're made of, let's say you are the instrument, and your type of wood will make you a guitar today. Your type of wood is the same type of tree that you came from. Okay? And so as you move into the space of a beginning, a new beginning, and wanting to learn more about where you resonate and what creates resonance for you in your life, there has to be a strengthening of your form and a clearing out so that as you are being upgraded, you have a chalice that can be filled with all the right things that are going to increase your capacity to have more experiences of resonance as opposed to that forceful vibration that can shake you up and deplete your energy. Now, this strength that you're experiencing can be very complex. I use this picture of me standing on the Brooklyn Bridge for this particular video to show this complex stability, because the bridge represents to me this balance between self and spirit, which is, it can be very complicated, but not complicated in a negative way. It's more complex. There's many different lines of communication happening that create this stability and still allow the swing so that it's not broken. So what people don't realize is that the bridge that takes us from one place to the other has to have a level of swing to it, or else the stability of the bridge is actually broken easily, in fact. And in order to strengthen it, we have all of these lines, right, that crisscross each other to allow for that strength in between spaces, which reinforces the lessons about being in a liminal space, giving you the greatest source of power in between. All right? So I want you to handle your tools with great care and take an approach of curiosity and stillness, and allow the sounds to come to you. So instead of holding your bowl and striking it hard, strike it gently first. Feel it in your hand. Hear it from a distance. Strike it again in a space where you attune your ears to hearing when it's time to strike it again. And you can do this experiment at home where you strike your singing bowl and go and strike it in between its loud sound, and see that you actually don't get the same level or volume of sound coming from the bowl, as if when you strike it and you listen for it to start to come down like a swing before you hit it again. Finding that natural harmonious introduction of the external vibration to the natural frequency of your bowl. I mean, this is live. In fact, I feel like I could go and get one now to show you, but I don't want to interrupt the flow. I want you to really sit with your tools and learn them, understand how they are working with you and you are working with them, because they come with the vibration, they come with the frequency, so they are alive. And the more you want this energy of Venus to speak through you, you would take these steps to become that. Okay? And it takes repetition of you doing these exercises in order for it to really hit home. Okay? While you're doing that and becoming clearer and emptying your cup, see what aspects of who you are and the wood that you're made of needs to be released in some way. And that it's not just you, but that you are stepping forward and healing all of those attachments from your ancestry, from your parents, so that you can heal, be whole, and rewrite this story. Because without doing that first piece, you won't have access to all of your strength. If you move forward with a full cup, you won't be able to fill it with the stuff that you need along the way. That journey is about first shedding. Okay? For those of you who have experienced some of that already, just know repetition is going to help you to release. And it's for your own good. It's for the strength that you're going to need moving forward. It's, again, that complex stability. We figure if we hold on to certain things that it will create more strength. But even the holding is a type of forceful vibration experienced from this meeting that, had me show up quite tardy today. One of the pieces that I'd like to share with you all, because it actually came in the vibration of Inanna, is like, you holding hands like this, right? How much energy do you experience here, sitting here between these two hands? And we think, oh yeah, lots of energy, but like I'm burning out all through my arms into my shoulders. But when I relax, as I open, this is the only way we actually can build chi. We don't build chi balls like this, right? Not holding on. We we build chi, energy that's necessary for life, that's necessary for giving life, for expanding life, by cultivating from a space of here where they're not attached to one another. Okay? We relax in that space. We create movement around that space, right? And get in tune with the subtleties. And when we start to feel it, we have to be aware of that subtle sensation of where it begins and where it ends, and come just close enough to it as we open it up and expand it, right? But if we're like all in the middle here, right, and we squeeze it, we don't get to experience opening it up enough to do something powerful with it, like clearing our aura. And that is another lesson in resonance. Okay? That is another lesson in respecting that liminal space. Because that chi in between my two hands is more powerful. With more and more repetition, more and more training, is more powerful than if I were to just punch someone. Right? We're looking at how do we put ourselves into that space and really become the type of superpower that can be felt, that can transform situations, almost being invisible, and still trust that we are seen and we don't need to do much for that power to be respected and observed by those who need to know. Okay? How's that for you all? Exactly, Kendra. The master martial artist. What is it to lay hands on someone? They're beyond that. They can use their energy to knock someone over. And that would be a sign, right? That is a sign of mastery. No longer having to exert that type of physical force, but we also see that through the energetic force. That's a forceful vibration. It can break someone down. Whereas when we have push-pull, when with yin, right, we're working in someone's energetic field to put them down or to get them off, right? Get them off of you without disturbing your natural frequency. That's when you tune into someone else's natural frequency and you're able to move them out of the way. All right? All right, y'all. Listen, it's something I want y'all to be mindful of. Yes, Bruce Lee. It's something I want y'all to be mindful of. There's a lot of information that's shared. There are various homework assignments given. It is really a respectful gesture to the energy that is poured out and into this audience, into this space, to show up by sharing where you are, whether it's with supplies, whether you're in your planning stages, whether when you have actually done some of the work, to report back what you've received. Okay. In the groups, for those of you who have joined the Slytherin Tier and you're on Discord, all of these places of showing what you have done are acts of gratitude. And in this space that we're moving in, gratitude is a real benefit to you all, more so than it is to myself or to Baba T. Because the energy that is present is beyond the physical avatars that you engage with. You know, when you receive gifts, you know, there's always an exchange. Even in the Wisdom Wednesdays, which this is, I should actually share this. This is my Wisdom Wednesdays for you all. I'm being cheeky. There's always an exchange. Any relationship, there's an exchange. There's no such thing as there's no transaction here. They're all transactions. So I ask for you all to, whatever products you have benefited from, to please go to the website. In my shop, where you all have purchased many different items, like the floor wash right now, I want you all to please go on there and drop a review. Any odes, any meditation kits, whatever products you can find on there that you have benefited from, whether it's in the past or this recently, leave a review. They help a lot because there are people who are looking to get into this space, and sometimes they don't know, and rightfully so, they don't know who to trust. They don't know who has real things. They don't know who doesn't have real things. And it's through the experience of people who have tried things out, who can vouch for what they've received, that people can have more ease in stepping into a space where they can use tools that are safe for them. Okay? I really want y'all to understand the dynamics between giving these gifts, creating these products, putting lots of energy into what is shared, and reciprocity. All right? So that's it. I want y'all to write in your journals. I am a vibrational match to Venus. And when you feel otherwise, sit with your tools and literally speak into your bowl. I'm like, I got goosebumps all over. Speak into your singing bowls. Your voice resonance in sound and music has come from the study first of the voice. You know, Schumann resonance, that is from the earth. We are connected through resonance. So us doing this work with these sounds, these sounding tools, is really like a big deal. It's not something just like, oh, you know, everyone's doing singing bowls and tuning forks now. No, you want to go into this with great respect, because these sounds, they come from the earth. They come from, you're talking about a sound that resounds with the planet Venus. So you're having a direct conversation with another planet. These planets are like immense vessels of information from time when before even Earth was here. Earth is the baby. So imagine that you're speaking to like the grandmothers and grandfathers and the aunties and uncles of Earth, meanwhile being here. And know that the frequencies of the Earth have a vibrational match to every part of your brain. every part of your body. So when you are in the practice of using tools of sound, that you are acknowledging and respecting that connection you have with this planet that you live on. So is respect. When you go to your tools, you handle them with that level of reverence, because it takes you beyond this physical space that you're taking up to say, I am connected to this huge auric field of an entire planet. And this is my part in it, to tune into that space and to become it. Because when you tap in, the reason why you feel so huge when you center into that vibration is because when the vibration of the planet meets the natural frequency of that planet within you, you are eventually getting to experience the expansion of what the planet actually is experiencing. And when you think of it from that place or perspective, you realize how huge it is to be treating yourself with sound. Okay? So, peace and blessings to you all. I hope this was very, very clear for you all. Do you all have any questions before I move on to the other parts of my beautiful day? Any other questions? All right. Thanks so much for everyone who has showed up. Please show your journals that you started writing. No, you did not miss the snake oil. The snake oil had to get some of this eclipse energy, so it's being planned accordingly. All right. I appreciate you for asking. Yes, all snappy. Kendra in the chat, snap. I know you know how to snap. All right, my loves. Anything else? All right, so thank you all for being here. Stay tuned, stay connected. Peace and blessings. I'm out.